Hello, viewers. Welcome to Shubhra Ranjan IS Study. My name is Shmanshu Jaiswal, and today we have with us Shubhra Ranjan ma'am. Ma'am barely needs any introduction. She has produced toppers, that too with AIR 1, like Tina Dabi, Ishita Kishore, and many more.
I was also a classroom student here in 2019. Somewhere in that corner, I used to always sit quietly. So it feels good to be back here.
So, today in this particular video, we are going to talk about her most sought after course, that is Political Science Foundation course. And we'll discuss the various nuances, myths, and features related to this course. So, ma'am, let's start this session.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to ask that what is this PSIR Foundation course? What a new student can expect from this particular course?
As you know, in mains, which is the most critical phase of the exam, you have to take optional. Fine. And political science is one of the most sought after optional, though it was not always the most favorite optional. But since 2013, we have seen a pattern where political science students are doing very well in foundation course, which is our most premier course. We ensure that all students get good grasp over the concepts. They don't have to see anything beyond the notes. We have the ecosystem, means we have mentors. If you talk about the basic foundational idea, foundational part that we cover, current affairs, students need not to worry. So that is a component of the foundation course.
Ma'am, may I know, like, as you mentioned that over the time it has become very popular. Students always have this huge dilemma while deciding an option. There are certain criteria, the most common one being the teachers, the availability of resources, results. So, as far as these parameters of choosing an options are concerned, how much do you think that PSI is the best option for any student?
I think PSIR is the best optional since 2013. As the syllabus has changed, political science students will be in a much better position. If you look at the general studies syllabus, there is such a huge overlap. So political science students, they get advantage in both their optional as well as in general studies. And if you say adding cherry to the cake is the essay paper. And political science is one of the oldest disciplines known as master science. And this entire exam is a personality exam, and it makes a very positive impact on the personality. And yes, I will say that our study material, our course, our classes have equipped our students well to deal with the competition. And I am very happy that almost every year around 10% of the students are from political science and our students every year in the UPSC results.
That's great, ma'am. Ma'am, I think political science is not just a subject for you. It means much more to you.
Yes.
You have devoted so many years of your life.
Yes.
Can you just share us the journey, how it started with political science, and from that day?
Political science journey started with my Delhi University, and I took admission in BA honors, and then I got second rank in the university. Then I continued with MA, and while doing MA I did my junior research fellowship. I did MPhil. I got opportunity to act as a research associate at many prestigious institutions that include the Institute of Public Administration. While as a MA and MPhil student, I also got an opportunity to teach in the various colleges in Delhi University, either as guest or ad hoc lecturer. So I enjoyed a lot teaching. And then I felt very much interested with the teaching in the civil services domain. And I will say that from the time I am doing my MA first year, somewhere you can say from 1997 onwards, I have been teaching this particular subject. So actually, political science is now a part and parcel of my life. I believe that 24 hours I am engaged into that itself. And it has been a very pleasuresome, very enriching journey, both at the personal level in terms of evolution of me as a person, both at a professional level in terms of the students and their results.
Very nice, ma'am. Now coming back to our PSI foundation course, ma'am, you have devoted so many years with the students. You must have seen variety of students, like from students coming from science, from commerce, for humanities backgrounds. So what do you decide? I mean, should they read anything before joining this course? Is there any standard or basic reading which you suggest?
See, if they will study, it is good. And even if they don't study, it's okay because we start from the basics. Now, reading a book is different thing and understanding the content is different. So it also matters how you read a book. Fine. You read a book, it will never be in your disadvantage. Reading and studies will always benefit. But anybody who is trying to have some base, it's not that they start from the standard textbooks, rather, they should start from NCRT. And if you see political science, it has one major section, Western philosophy. Western philosophy is very well integrated with the world history. So, if you will study NCRT world history, if you study political theory by NCRT, it will make a good base. And for the uh, knowledge or information of the students, for me, NCRT is so important and so relevant that in our institute, I take NCRT political theory, and it is must read book. And it's not just about for political science, for ethics, if you will be well prepared, if you are not political science optional students. And then if we go at Indian politics is very well integrated with modern India, national movement, and post independence. So if you will read these NCRTs besides Indian constitution at work, you are going to gain major insight. Now the next portion is world politics. Again, beginners should study NCRT, contemporary world politics, and India and the world. So India and the world, there is no specific textbook, but you can read some generic books or the magazines. By magazines, I don't want to tell this current affairs magazine. They can look into Diplomat magazine, they can look into Economist, they can look into EPW and these type of texts.
Ma'am, currently this PSIR Foundation course, we are offering it in two modes. One is the classroom mode and the other one is the tablet mode. In the tablet mode, we give the tablet to students and they watch the lectures in that device only. So can you elaborate how much difference does it make for a student? You suggest which mode of course to which student?
See, I will suggest students to choose the course according to their convenience. The best is always when you are in the class. Fine, because your doubts can be resolved immediately and it creates a good environment. You will meet friends, and I believe that preparation strategy should be a combination of self studies, peer group, etc. But if you are working professional, if you are studying, like if you are a regular student of university, or you, for whatever reason, you cannot come to Delhi, you may be working, financial issues, whatever. So go for tablet. Even our tablet course is very good in the sense you will have the regular doubt sessions in the tablet course, so it will not make create any disadvantages. So choose according to your comfort, because you should be at peace mentally, and nothing should be very, very taxing.
Okay. But after completing the course, let's say the whatever we are covering from the entire syllabus of PSIR optional, we are going to cover it in the lectures. After completing this course, what should any student do? Any
See, after completing the course, the best thing is you can remain in touch with the course through test series program. We have mentorship program. We have crash course. So you can choose again according to your comfort. But I will suggest that all of you remain connected with the class and the institution, because the movement, and this is not what I am saying, this is the experiences of the students who have shared that, because once classes are over, it is very difficult to maintain the continuity.
This is the question which is always there in the minds of many students, that who all are going to be the teachers for this particular course. Can you just elaborate?
Number of times the students feel take the syllabus in a very mechanical manner, but you have to understand the weightage of the syllabus, the foundation of the syllabus, the core areas, core of the core areas, like philosophy, thought, international politics, theory of international relations, comparative politics. All these subjects are taken by me, and for certain sections we have other teachers also, fine, and students must be knowing Satya Prakash sir is there, Rohit sir is there, they also take. But of course, I think that it is still being like largely taken by me. Why other teachers? Because we don't want to compromise on the content, and the content knowledge is multiplying like anything. To maintain the quality, it is essential that you have people who are doing specialized work in certain areas, so to maintain the quality of the course, and we have those teachers which are also equally committed and have been our students, and now they have been groomed to be a good teacher, and the students also appreciate their efforts.
This helps in timely completion
Ha,
of the
timely without compromising the content and the quality, because what was possible in 2014-15 is not. You all know that information has expanded like anything.
right. Speaking of updation and elaboration of the information, how can students manage the current affairs as far as PS adoption?
They don't have to worry. They just remain stick to the class discussion. I teach in a manner that they themselves will be able to analyze, and then our crash course and all notes will help you. You don't have to do anything besides the class.
Okay. Wow. So speaking of tenure of this course, it is mentioned in the website that it is 9 months. So will it be completed in 9 months?
Normally, we intend to finish it in the 9 months, but studies cannot be done in a mechanical manner. You don't know tomorrow some new events happen, and I don't want that my students go to the examination center with with incomplete information. They should be well equipped. And while teaching, I never care for the things like, it's not that we don't complete the course. We teach in a manner that students qualify, because I don't think at this stage of my teaching career, I will be happy if I am just completing the things for the sake of completion. Because I understand that students from science background are there, the students from commerce background are there, even the students of humanities background. If something takes time, then it means it needs time. Fine. And this is the reason we have been able to have consistency in the results. Okay. And I have full trust in the process. See, uh, we never believe, like, whether our optionals or general studies, we don't do things for the sake of doing. We don't do things for the sake of completing. We do the things for the sake that students get selected, and this is what is satisfaction for us.
I think this is the reason that you are having the results today in this.
Yeah, and as a teacher, I feel it is a work of a huge responsibility, and more we can help the students, better it is. And obviously, in professional terms also, it it doesn't make much professional sense that you teach beyond. I can teach like any other institute and just finish the course. But also, I believe that it also doesn't make professional sense that you teach and the students are again haywire and they don't bring any result, then the purpose gets lost. So I have full faith and trust in my process. And every year we are upgrading that process. And I am pretty sure and determined that in times to come we are going to produce much better results. And also, because we have taken new premise, now I can give greater attention towards the general studies and grooming the students of general studies also. So we are determined to produce much good results.
That's great to hear, ma'am. I'm very sure that this is going to work. And one more thing that I want to ask, ma'am, after choosing a particular course, let's say a mode or any center, when the student gets associated with the institution, can he or she expect any kind of flexibility?
Yeah, why not? They are our students. So students keep on changing from offline to online, online to offline. So these are certain technical matters, administrative matters, and they are not a big deal. So they can easily address, and they don't have to worry for us. They don't. The student need not to worry for it.
Great. So, one last but not the least, because this is the most important question,
Okay.
that why should a student do PSL formation course at Shubha Ranjan IS study, not somewhere else?
Because परिणाम बोलते हैं, ठीक है? तो I think any rational person will look at the results and will themselves get the answer why they should join course with us. and of course the entire ecosystem, the way we teach the students. And our students with this class not only qualify for civil services, they also do well in other exams like CUET, JRF, etc. And why you should do classes with us? Because I believe that it is going to be an experience. It is going to be something memorable for you, which you will realize after studying.
One thing that I want to ask, ma'am, has it ever been that you have come across a student who has joined the course, but he or she does not want to appear in UPSC CSE? So is ASI Foundation course helpful to someone? Or-
Yes, many. Even I was not knowing this, but gradually students started coming and telling. They join our courses also for CUET, for JRF, and some even like want to make career in politics. Many go into panchayats, and they have opened their think tanks. They have opened their NGOs. Some people have also entered into the field of journalism. So my students are everywhere now.
How does it feel now? Every year you see the crowd of so many people and you turn them into something different, right? I'm very sure because the subject is such, they understand so many things, they understand so many nuances. So what do you think that how does a person changes apart from the UPSC knowledge? How does the behavior or critical thinking, how does this?
So because it all depends upon the company, and if you are in a company, you are exposed to certain ideas, you are exposed to the great philosophers. There is no reason that there will not be a positive impact on your thinking. And once your thinking improves, obviously it is a capacity building, and you will do well in almost wherever you will go.
That's great to hear. Has there been ever any incidents or any success story, maybe apart from UPSC's results, or any, let's say, fieldwork which any ex-student has come to you and shared and which you must have?
Yeah, many students share, and one area where I always had a lot of inclination is Panchayati Raj. And one of my student, I would not like to take the name, but they are acting as a pradhan, and they are doing very good work. And I feel that like more than the students joining the administration, when I see students and especially girls, they are entering into the new domain, it is very satisfying for me.
एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद आपका ये वीडियो देखने के लिए, हमारे साथ यहाँ पे बने रहने के लिए। हम और भी आगे ऐसी वीडियोस लाएंगे। तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद। आप चैनल को लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें।